need you to approach me. I've been thinking about you and you only. And we just like to fuck, that's nothing else. You know, falling in love, that's
Hi everyone, welcome back to Planet J Tarot. Today we have a pick a card reading to see why did they stand you up, why did they ditch you, why did they ghost you, why did they leave. So pick your card and then we'll get you those answers. Thanks for being here, and don't forget to like and subscribe if this resonates. See you in your reading. Hi, card number 1. You chose the 7, or this projections card, which is the 7 of Cups in the Osho Zen deck. So, in this connection, both of you are not really seeing each other clearly. There's a need to balance your expectations and your dreams here. Not putting anyone on a pedestal, not seeing them lower or less than, but to really tap into reality here. And to allow each other, I'm hearing, to actually show up. Oh, there was a saying I was thinking of in my head yesterday where it's like, you have to learn how to love someone as they are instead of what they could be. And that can go both ways, right? That can mean that you may be putting someone on a pedestal and thinking that they're better than what they're showing up as in this current moment. Or it could be that you're not having any faith or hope that this person could be something other than maybe they showed up as in the past. So with that being said, we're going to get into your reading here and see what's going on. Okay, so card number 1. You could be dealing with a Cancer, possibly, okay? They don't have to be a Cancer, but you could actually just be dealing with someone who tends to really find it important to follow what they feel like is their purpose or their calling, something that makes them feel balanced. So I'm getting that they could also have Libra placements because balance of the emotions, the head and the heart seems to be very important to this person. But it's not even like that sounds very rational, but I don't feel like it's rational. To this person, that's how they honor their feelings. Yeah, there's something about this person who they feel like the best way to be happy is to honor their feelings wherever they lead them. And so maybe they could have been fickle in the past, but the advice for this connection here is to stay optimistic about your love life, and to really engage in positive thinking and having faith here, having faith in whatever this connection looks like for you, right? If it's not a romantic connection, then, you know, whatever you would want, in the best sense, like for this connection, Spirit is saying to have faith that can happen here. And honestly, I think I agree. I think that you could be dealing with someone. Now, the cards that are coming out before anybody asks, right? So we have Cancer. I'm getting Libra energy. It's not out here, but I am getting Libra energy. I'm also getting here that this could be like Sagittarius placements. We also have the Sun, which could be Leo, okay? And this person may actually lack Earth placements in their chart. They don't have to, but if that is the case, cool. If it's not, leave it. It will be more so about characteristics, which I am about to describe. So the person that you're dealing with, as I said, the way that they choose to live their life is in this Knight of Wands energy, which isn't inherently bad. This is someone that has a lot of passion, a lot of heart, and a lot of fire. Also, I'm hearing a lot of drive. Now, take that as it is, right? Whatever this relationship was, they had a lot of it. You feel me? But I feel like at the same time, wherever this person's heart is, or their interest or curiosity is, that's where they go. So I think at some point, maybe this person was very, 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 like, borderline obsessed with you, right? But in a good way, I'm hearing. Like, you really made this person, like, they were interested in you, like, full-fledged at some point. But then I think for whatever reason, something in them told them, or just pulled them elsewhere. Genuinely pulled them elsewhere. And you'll take that as a resonance. That could be a job, that could be moving, that could be, right? Because a chariot can sometimes represent travel. I don't know. But there's just something here that this person they felt pulled towards in a different direction. And the way that they felt like they had to, or the way that they felt in their heart that they should honor that was to kind of just put all their efforts solely on whatever that thing that was pulling them. And the good energy I'm hearing with this 3 of Cups on the bottom of the deck, or the bottom of this card, that you guys had, like, I feel like you guys could have just had like a good friendship more than anything, or just a good vibe. I feel like they just kind of left that to go pursue whatever this was that was in their heart space. Now, it doesn't have to be romantic, it doesn't have to be whatever, right? But it just was what was in them. It felt like there was something in them that was just pulling them somewhere else. And although I think in their heart, what they thought would work was just being very apathetic, and or maybe even just ignoring you. And they thought that that would be enough. But what I'm getting here is that what actually happened is that this person might have like given you something and then like taken it back, said something and then taken it back, or promised something and then didn't honor it. And it was something small, but I'm hearing that, I mean, obviously it had a big enough impact here for there to have been some sort of like separation here. The way that this person viewed your relationship was actually very positive, though. With this 9 of Swords in reverse, this is what they thought like your relationship stood for, what the purpose of it was, which I think was to actually relieve them of some sort of anxiety and stress. And that's what I mean when I say I think you guys did have a good vibe. There was something about this person's life that was not perfect. It wasn't as good as maybe it appeared, or they made it seem by their happy, upbeat nature. I feel like there was something in their life that actually caused them a lot of stress and anxiety at the time that you guys were like dealing with each other. But whenever they were with you, I feel like you kind of gave them like a safe space. But it's almost like they took that softness or tenderness, used it to kind of like resurge themselves, and then was pulled ultimately in a different direction. And honestly, I don't think it was malicious. I really don't. I think that this is just genuinely how this person works. Like, if you have their heart, you have their heart. And if their heart is elsewhere, then, and it doesn't have to be a person. It can literally just be like I said, their purpose, like what they feel like they are meant to be doing in that current moment. Then that's kind of how they work and they operate. But ultimately, this person felt like the way that they needed to let go of you was like they didn't want to be harsh. And I think honestly, because deep down this person they actually think that you are kind of like the light of their life. You bring a lot of positivity and optimism to them that they really felt. But it's like almost like you taught them how to be that, and therefore they were that while they let you go. So it could have been like really weird. Like, this person could still be very happy or friendly or like nice to you or whatever, and you're kind of like wondering why they retracted or pulled back or whatever they did. And the reason why is because they actually feel like you are, or could be like a soulmate to them, or just someone really important to them, someone that would really improve their life, and someone that they were destined to meet and have this relationship with. But in the future as well, like, they would want something else. I feel like this person had this energy of like, okay, I need to go do this so that I can come back and do this. But it's like, I don't know if they ever really communicated that. It seems like something in their actions was just to you kind of like proof that maybe this should be like dead in the dust, right? But I feel like in the future, this person's actions, they would want to come back and kind of rejuvenate this and make it something completely different. The Sun card is like my holy matrimony card. So if this was romantic, then they would like to seal the deal, or they would like to, you know, move towards some sort of like happy ending here, happily ever after. In their actions, if they were to come back, and if they have already, they actually do want to change this connection, liberate it, kind of have this more freedom here. I think in the past, maybe this person wasn't ready for something serious, or they didn't expect to have something as serious with you, while their heart was also pulled elsewhere. And so, you know, maybe they tried to leave things very lightheartedly or whatever, because in their heart, maybe they thought at some point that they would need to come back to it, but they just couldn't for whatever reason at that point in time. Now, what I'm getting here with this Mirror card, well, the way that they're viewing you, let me start off. The way they're viewing you is addiction in reverse. So I do feel like at some point, maybe this person, like I said, they really did take or something, but wasn't really in a position to give it back or give back, because they were stuck in some sort of like toxic pattern, or just having some sort of blocks in their heart space. And I think that that is gone. But the way that they're viewing you is actually in the same way. So maybe they just felt like the nature of this relationship at a certain point in time was good, right? But not sustainable. And all the while, their heart was pulled elsewhere, and it kind of just made sense to them, and they did it. Maybe they did it without thinking, but I'm not getting that it was very impulsive. I think it was actually just very intense for them, and this person is someone that might deal with intensity very well, and so they just kind of did it without thinking whether or not you were okay with like how that made you feel. Like I don't feel like they did it maliciously, but they didn't really consider you at the same time for whatever reason. And so there might have been some hurt feelings there, but I think at the same time though, you could be viewing this person as like almost like whatever they did would have been inevitable even if you were the one to have done it later on. And so while it might have stung, I do feel like you think it happened for a reason. And I think you reflected, or you're viewing this person as someone who has reflected on this relationship quite a lot, and might even be seeing you guys as like-minded people in a way that they didn't in the past, especially if they thought like maybe you were too serious, or you it's just an energy of, like I said, this person was not in a position to really be able to give anything super substantial, and that's why they viewed this relationship as not sustainable, but they still viewed it in a very positive light. And that's why maybe I don't feel like in this pile or this card that the energy was rude or like mean or anything like that. I think it was just kind of I don't even want to say sudden, but just weird, like weird or not what you expected. Unexpected is the word. Yes. I think in your feelings towards them though, you're not where they are. And honestly, what I want to say is that this soulmate feelings, they have felt this the entire time. But they didn't honor their feelings because they also had a stronger feeling that was pulling them elsewhere. And so I think in your heart space now, you are wanting a new phase here. You are wanting to see some growth and possibly changing your mind about this person. I think you both are seeing each other more clearly. It could have been that this space is what allowed you guys to be able to kind of view each other from a different lens or a different perspective. And I think in the future for your actions, yeah, you're going to be a little bit hesitant when this person comes in saying they want to change everything and be better, do better, whatever. But I think ultimately you are going to have some faith that could actually happen. And it's crazy because that's literally what the advice is here. So I think that you are very in tune. I think that you are deeply connected to your spiritual guides and operating out of a very high vibrational energy. And I think that is why, if this person does come back, that it could work out, because I think at a certain point you were operating at a vibration that was equal to each other, right? Because you can only be at the same vibration for someone to like be in your space and be in your energy and like maintain a relationship with you. And so there's almost like the separation, like I said, was inevitable. It needed to happen. But the way that this person did it, maybe you just wouldn't have done it that way, is what I'm hearing. Like you would have done it differently, but you still would have done the same thing. I'm sorry, my dog is barking because I think like either the mailman or someone is here. But yeah, I do think that in the future, you would want to, you know, maybe meet up with this person, invite them to something, or, you know, hoping that they would invite you to something, but you would still be a little hesitant. And I think it's valid. We don't really need too many clarifications here, but for those of you who are wondering, like, what was it that this person like offered or felt like they couldn't offer? What was that? What was it? Oh, the lovers. Yeah, like I said, this is what this person wanted to offer you, but they didn't feel ready to do it yet. I think that they, like I said, they always felt the soulmate connection with you, with the lovers, but there was something about a choice here. This person would have had to make a choice here to start slow and offer you something, but they couldn't do it. They felt like they couldn't do it, and therefore that's why they didn't. It's almost like this person thinks it's better to just not offer anything than to offer breadcrumbs. I think because they are like an all or nothing sort of person, they couldn't give you their all, and therefore they didn't. But in a way, you are their all. Like I said, you are the light of their life, the sun. I'm seeing. They also see you as very confident, very positive, very like you show them parts of themselves that they didn't see before or didn't see clearly in the most positive way. This person feels like there's a divine connection here, and they want to be in harmony with you. They want balance. Oh, look what it says on this card. It does say balance, and that was the first thing that I mentioned when I looked at the Chariot card there. Something about balance. Yeah, I feel like this person just wasn't in a headspace to be like that in the past, but now they are. And well, it's like they always felt this Lover's card towards you. they weren't able to actualize it, right? Because the pentacles can represent physical or tangible proof of something. And pages are messengers, but when it's pentacles, sometimes to me it feels like an offering, right? Instead of just a message, it's an offer, and there's a message behind the offer. But the fact that this person didn't offer you anything, there was also a message behind it. But I think you viewed it as this person seeing you as just maybe not having any interest at all, but it was the opposite. And they just didn't communicate that, because it seems like this is the person who's more of action. And that's why I say in the future, or if they have already come back, they're wanting more to offer you some sort of growth, something different, instead of just talking. Oh, and I'm seeing the Hierophant here on the bottom of the deck. So this is also something that they wanted to offer you, but they weren't in a position to at the time for whatever reason. There's a 5 on this, which is like romance as well. This person wants to be someone that you could come to when you're down, come to talk to, come to for advice. Someone that would take the time to get to know you, study you, and honor you. Someone who also shares the same values as you. There's an energy of you both maybe seeing the world differently at a certain point, but now there's some sort of alignment here. Not only alignment, but alignment that lasts with the Hierophant. And I'm seeing this person could have been stuck doing things the same way, or maybe that was you or something. There's something here about learning about traditions, values of relationships, and conforming. This could be the energy of someone who is afraid of being controlled, or was afraid of being controlled or tied down because they were pulled elsewhere. And so because they didn't want that to happen, and they didn't want to have to ruin this sun energy, which I feel like they didn't, right? Because you're watching this video about them, and your feelings here are wanting to see some sort of change for the better. And I feel like if they were like really terrible, you could just be watching this for closure, but it doesn't feel like this is for closure. It feels like this is for something much more important. I'm seeing the Knight of Swords here after I shuffled a few times on the bottom of the deck. So this person is coming in. Okay, they are coming in. I think they're actually a little bit more impatient. It's giving me the similar energy here of the Chariot, which this person is just in motion. You can see the movement lines here. What's that word? Implying speed. So, and the Chariot can also represent speed and also travel. So this person may be thinking a lot about coming towards you, maybe even coming towards you like in a physical sense, coming to see you. And they want to have success in this interaction. They want to be daring. They want to be bold. They're very focused on you again. So maybe at some point, like I said, their heart was elsewhere because it had to be. But now they are wanting to be more assertive, more direct than they were in the past. And yeah, like I said, just focused on you. I think you occupy this person's headspace quite a lot, and for that reason, they do not want to let you go. So with that being said, that is why this person ditched, ghosted, left, whatever the case is. I do think that this is someone, no matter how they come off, is actually very humble, but at the same time, they could just be someone that they feel things and then they just don't really put them into words. They put them into action. But with you, maybe you needed those words a little bit more, or that's just something that is a little bit more your forte. And I think they've taken a lot of time to kind of study you and or this situation to be able to come in and make you feel more sure of them in a way that resonates with you, in a way that you could understand, because you would be now finally speaking the same language. So with that being said, that is the end of your reading. I'm going to leave you guys some links in the description box below if you want to find some more pick a card or timeless readings. And you can find your 12 signs for your sun, moon, Venus, and or 7th house placements for every month. So every month I post a video for all the 12 signs. And depending on when you find this, I posted this during Venus retrograde. So you could find some readings that are specifically for Venus retrograde to see what's going on in your connection a little bit more. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hi, card number 2. You chose the Fighting card, which is actually the Knight of Swords in this deck. So, Spirit wants you to know that I think both of you here are trying really hard to cover your wounds and your pain and how you're actually feeling. But the problem is that when you can't show people vulnerability, when you can't show people your problems, it makes it really hard for people to find a way to be compassionate towards you and to actually see you clearly and to therefore know how to deal with you. There's this energy here of if you're acting like everything is okay or nothing hurts or you're the strongest, no one can be vulnerable with the person that's the strongest, right? Because maybe they're afraid that they're going to hurt them too. Or maybe they're afraid that the other person sees them as weak and will take advantage of that. There's just this energy here of not only are you presenting in a certain way, but it also has an effect on the way you both think and perceive each other here. And Spirit wants you to know that as soon as you let your guard down, as soon as you be more vulnerable, there's so much love waiting for you on the other side. So much love. I think in this connection, for you guys, card number 2, this fighting card talks a lot about feeling deep pain and wearing a mask to not show it. The first thing that you need to do is forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Tell yourself that you're worthy of love, and you're worth love. You know, one moment we're here, and the next moment we're gone. And in this moment, recognize how much you're fussing. Recognize how much violence, ambition, struggle, conflict, anger, hatred you are holding in your heart, and how you can let go of it, and how that might impact this connection in a positive way. Wow. So some of you guys might actually be dealing with a earth sign here. I'm seeing the 5 of Pentacles. You could be dealing with a Virgo, but you don't have to be. The reason why I'm getting Virgo energy here is because the 5 of Pentacles, honestly, it feels a lot like abandonment, misfortune, not being appreciated sometimes, but also just feeling like you're at a loss. And it makes a lot of sense for the context of this reading of someone, you know, kind of walking away here or just detaching in a way that makes someone maybe question their own worth because it hits them so hard. Feeling abandoned it brings up a lot of wounds and a lot of trauma, right? And it makes sense that someone here, or if not both, are sitting in that fighting energy, because that's what happens when you feel like you've been at a loss. You feel like you need to protect what you have, protect your heart space, protect your mind. But it also leads you to question a lot. The thing that you need to know here in this relationship is that your positive attitude is what's going to attract everything that you feel like you lost right back to you, even if it means this person. Because adversity actually makes you stronger. Any couple or friendship or whatever that has never dealt with any problems, the first time they hit it, oh my God, it can feel so hard. But the fact of the matter is that when you, like I said, show people your wounds or your pain or go through things, you get to see that person as more human. You get to see how you can fit into the picture to make them feel superhuman, right? Wow. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Let's see. So I have flipped over the cards, and I just want to say that whatever pain, sadness, disappointment that happened here, it happened for a reason. And I think your person knows that, they feel that, and they appreciate you. They appreciate you so much. They think that you have taught them almost like a lesson that they would have never learned without you. You have a place in their heart that could never be replaced or compared to anybody else. Because I think that you are someone that actually opened this person's mind, opened their third eye, and I'm already seeing them as a good person, honestly. And, you know, maybe you're seeing them as different because there could have been some hostility here, some arguments, or just, I don't even really think it was arguments. I think it was that you both triggered each other. You both showed each other your shadow sides in a way that could have felt violent, even if it wasn't. Even if it was indirect, it felt harsh. It felt like someone was, again, trying to peel off all your armor without your permission, showing all your wounds without you being ready to reveal them. And it was hard because there was a lot of love there at the same time, and it was genuine love. I think this person, they felt like the way that they needed to act and what they needed to do here, from all these loves, this love and caring and devotion, that they truly felt like they were giving to you. Maybe you didn't feel that way, but that's what they thought. This person loves you. This person cares for you. This person wants the best for you. It's like they would give you the skin off of their back if they could, just to make sure that you were protected and safe and felt loved. This person's priority, even if, I feel like even back then, was to always make you feel loved. So if they didn't, maybe that's why they moved into this energy where they felt like the best way to act here was the 6 of Swords, which was maybe to walk away, like I said, and the purpose of this reading was to describe why they walked away. This person felt like that's what they needed to do for things to get calm between you and them again, for things to get better, they felt like they needed to walk away. Maybe things got very intense, or maybe they were just so heartbroken that they couldn't even look at you, right? Because I'm seeing this Queen of Cups here whose eyes are barely open. They're looking down at all their feelings, but they're not really looking up at whoever is viewing them. It's almost like they're just hoping, wishing, and praying for you. Like this person has prayed for you. They've thought about you all the time to hope that you were okay. But I think they in their heart they felt like they had to move on. And I'm seeing here as well with this Page of Swords that in their actions, again, I'm looking at this card, and there's someone here who is really pondering, thinking, and maybe even trying to, in a way, like telepathically communicate something here, or even just indirectly communicate something here through their actions, which was walking away. And it wasn't meant to smite you. It wasn't meant to hurt you. It was not meant to make you feel or think anything negative. It was solely because it was almost like this person was getting messages or some sort of inkling here that this was the right thing to do. And they felt like they were getting some of those messages from you. But they closed their eyes, which is also making me feel like because this is a sword, that they also closed their mouth. I don't think that they really said this. It could have really been that this person ghosted you. But it's like similar to card number 1, honestly, they didn't really have any malicious intentions. With the Devil in reverse, I'm actually seeing that, like I said, this relationship showed you both sides of yourself. That was very uncomfortable, okay? It showed you both where you tend to stay, where your comfort zone is to a point of your own detriment, and how sometimes when you stay in that comfort zone that you end up breaking your own heart. There's an energy here of whether you or them sabotaged this at some point, but it was like in seeing how you did it, it opened your guys's, or their mind at least, in a very beautiful and profound way. No matter how it appeared on the outside, that's actually what happened to them. And I think the way that they're viewing you, again, is someone who's no longer triggered, and they're no longer triggered by you. But they're also seeing you as someone, maybe you have a different approach, right? This person's approach to life is, okay, if you love something, set it free. Especially if you're not treating it right. But your approach might be, okay, well, if you love something, you need to stay and stick it out and figure it out. But for them, and maybe that's why there was that 5 of Pentacles, feeling like it was such a loss. But to them, they feel like if you cherish something, if you love something, you don't sit there and beat it down and hurt it and diminish it. You set it free, and if it comes back to you, in hopes that maybe it'll come back to you. I feel like this person, that's their situation here. This person has so much love for you. This connection, whatever happened, taught them how to love themselves even more, and the more love that they found for themselves, they gave it right back to you, or they intend to give it right back to you tenfold. But the thing is, this person feels so much attraction towards you. They still feel one with you, even if you're apart, which is why I say I feel like there's this sort of telepathic connection here, like seeing each other in your dreams, seeing each other in spaces that none of you would normally even occupy, right? Being reminded of each other in ways that touch your heart, even if your mind doesn't want to be thinking about one another. And I feel like this person has so much unconditional love for you because they've seen the best and the worst in you, and they still feel this way. But in their actions, they aren't really going to reach out. It could have been that maybe they did something, or maybe they said, okay, we need to end this, and they feel like they need to stand on it. But in their heart, they do want to talk to you. They do want to know what's going on with you. I'm hearing they're not waiting for you to reach out, but it's because they know, like I said, that everything here happened for a reason, and almost like if things were to come back together, that it would be for a reason. There could be a lot of serendipity like related here. Like, for example, you guys could have met by accident, or met in a situation where it's like you couldn't have really planned it out, you just had to take a chance, and that's almost like where their feelings are for if there were to ever be some sort of reconciliation here. Again, I don't think they're hoping and or waiting for a reconciliation, but I feel like they would love to have you around again at the same time. And I think for you miss them just as much. You may not be reaching out or looking at their socials or whatever, but like I said, I feel like you both are reminded of each other in these very serene ways, where it's like, even no matter what happened, it's like it reminds you of the good times that you guys spent. And I think that you miss them quite a lot, and you know that they miss you too, even if they're not saying it. And I think in your heart, though, you are convinced that whatever happened here was almost like an omen, that nothing could ever be different here. For whatever hopes you had for the relationship, it's almost like you don't see that as a possibility anymore, and you don't feel it as a possibility anymore. You're not seeing any new beginnings here in this relationship, but it's like almost like that makes your heart feel kind of trapped, because maybe you are still, like, your heart still belongs to this person, but at the same time, in your actions, you are exploring other options, exploring other things, doing other things with your life. If this is love, it doesn't mean that you are necessarily entertaining other people. It could be that, but it could simply be that there are a lot of things that you have going on in your life that you are putting your attention towards, right? I'm seeing that you are trying things that you've never done just for the hell of it, right? If you were the person here that was always trying to keep things together, maybe you're experiencing what it's like to not have to be the one to always put all of the effort, to not always have to be the stable one, right? Because there's almost like this energy of like almost like a provider versus a nurturer. Like, your person could be someone that really nurtured people, or really makes people feel loved and has a lot of compassion and care and like takes care of people, but like, it's like they focus so much of their energy on that maybe they don't take care of themselves as much, and therefore, because they didn't take care of themselves, it's like they didn't actually have as much love for themselves as they did for you. And once they realized that, that's when they realized that they had to step away from this. And I think that's why this self-love here is now for their feelings, because it's almost like I said, the separation taught them and taught them a lot about how much they truly love you and how much they truly love themselves, because how much love and care that they gave to you, they now give back to themselves tenfold and everyone else around them. I think that Spirit is telling you guys both to just explore your options in life in general. Because like I said, with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, it's all about your mindset. It's all about having a positivity to you. And if that is about this connection, then yeah, stay positive about the connection. Stay positive about maybe being able to be reunited. But if that doesn't happen, still stay positive, because there are other things that could really, really, really flourish for you. And Spirit is trying to open your heart space up and your mind up enough for you to be able to accept them. There's this energy here of what you guys both need to let go of here. If it hasn't already happened, I feel like your person has let go of it. Maybe you are kind of doing this like fake it till you make it energy in the most positive way, where it's like, okay, I don't really know, when this is going to stop hurting as much, but it will at some point, and therefore I'm going to help that process by keeping my heart space open to experiencing other things that may make me feel just as loved or just as happy or just as whatever as I did with this person. Okay, so with that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you've made it this far, I will leave some links in the description box below if you want to find some more timeless or pick a card readings here on my channel. And I'll see you guys next time. I'll also leave on my channel, you guys can find readings for your sun, moon, Venus, and 7th house placements every single month. So, maybe you want to subscribe so you don't miss out on those messages. And I will see you next time. Okay, bye guys. Hi, card number 3. You chose the Receptivity card, which is actually the Queen of Wands, or I'm sorry, the Queen of Cups in this deck. So, the Queen of Cups talks all about receptivity, right? Regardless of gender, it is a feminine position, which means being able to receive, right? So, in this connection, you're being called here to open your arms, open your heart, and be open to love, be open to what you are worth, be open to the life that you want to live, and the relationship and connection you want to have with this person. This person is not having any expectations. She is unbounded and filled with gratitude, and that gratitude flows through her. It extends to others, and therefore others follow back and extend that gratitude back to them. That's all about the Queen of Cups, right? Being happy with what you have, being devoted and feeling full in your heart space with what you have, because you are open to receiving more of that fullness, more of that wholeness, more of that connection, more of that depth. This card is a reminder that you shouldn't be doing things out of duty or just to be moral or just to be rewarded. No, you need to tap into your sensitivity and your intuition and your compassion, and recognize that in order to dissolve all the obstacles in this connection, that is what is necessary. Now, notice this lotus flower. Lotus flowers grow through the mud, through the dirt, and that means that maybe in this connection there was some sort of trouble or hardship or whatever the case is, but that is being surmounted, that is being overcome here. You need to listen to yourself and listen to others as well. There's a need for, sorry guys, There's a need for more passivity in this connection. There's a need to, like I said, open one's heart space again to be able to listen. There could have been an aspect here where someone here was listening to respond instead of listening to feel, listening to intuit, listening to provide and to care, right? True caring, it requires someone to take themselves outside of themselves, right? To really view the other person and to empathize with them in order to show up the way that they need to. And that's what Spirit is calling you both to do here. Now, I want to say, I'm seeing the Nine of Wands with the advice here to enjoy this moment, enjoy life, express gratitude, and be happy about what you do have in your life. Okay? The Nine of Wands is an energy of feeling like, well, the Nine of Wands actually represents perseverance. It actually represents being able to surmount any troubles or overcome any obstacles. And what I find interesting about the Nine of Wands in this specific deck is that it speaks a lot to our own inner wisdom, right? Our own ability to like go that final stretch. You're being reminded here that there is a finish line somewhere for you, and it's close. You should prepare yourself, but you should also keep yourself open with the receptivity. There's a need for balance here between opening your heart and also protecting it. Some people may be doing the protection too much, or being too open to people that don't deserve it, and so there is a need for balance of that. Spirit is saying here that you have gained all the tools that you need to go through, or you needed to learn to be able to show up in a romantic relationship, if that's what this is, in a healthy way. You don't have to continue being guarded, because when you go through troubles and you surmount them and you overcome them, that is enough divine knowledge and message from Spirit to tell you that you are just as capable as you need to be able to truly handle love, the ups and the downs that come with it. You're being called here to remember that you need to learn from your mistakes and navigate your setbacks in order to come out back on top. This could also be if you're hoping to re-establish this connection, to learn how to stick together through thick and thin, because that attraction may still be there. Challenges may prove to be difficult, but you need to believe in your own abilities and perhaps the abilities of this connection and the relationship you have with this person to be able to make it through. Tell yourself that you can do it. And if you want this connection, tell yourself that you guys can do it. Say we can do it. We can overcome anything, right? Everybody wants a love that can move mountains. So let's look more at this reading. Okay, so the person you are dealing with could be someone that says things sometimes without thinking, or says things and they come off as rude and tactless. They may have acted towards you in the end in a way of self-sabotage, because I feel like this person in their heart space, they knew that they weren't ready for this relationship. They knew that you had everything that they could ever want and or need, but they were just not ready to receive it. And so they had a lot of blocks here. They put a lot of delays in between you. They could have even put space between you. If this was a relationship that didn't have a title, they knew what they were doing by never putting one on it, because in their heart, they maybe even felt like they were not good enough for you. I also am seeing here that this person may have had some sort of unhealthy attachment to you as well, especially if you were very giving to them and they grew up in a state of lack or always having to overcome not having enough. It's almost like they held on to your energy so much, but they didn't know how to savor it. It's almost like, someone that tries to grab a bird or hold a bird, but if you squeeze it too tight, well, it's not good. Same thing with a baby or, a cupcake or something soft and gentle and luscious. This person doesn't know how to deal with the delicate. They don't know how to deal with someone that is in a receptive energy. They only know how to deal with people that are in a masculine energy of giving something that they don't want, whether that be aggression, rudeness, taktness, all the things that they gave towards you. I think this person self-sabotaged. They knew in their heart that what needed to change was just the fact that they weren't doing anything. They knew in their heart with this Wheel of Fortune that there was something that was bound to happen here, and they couldn't predict what it was. But in their mind, they told themselves that what was going to happen was pain. They told themselves that what was going to happen was everything that they didn't want, and so they self-sabotaged. They really did. I think that this person, they knew that the purpose of this connection has always been to help them expand their mind, I'm sorry, hold on one second. They knew that the purpose of this connection was to help them to expand their mind, to open themselves up to new horizons. But this is someone who expects change, but is never ready for it, and therefore is stubborn towards it and pushes it away, even if it means that they would push you away, someone that they knew had everything that they would ever need. Someone that they knew was loyal and everything, right? I think this person knew that you are someone that is meant to come in their life and give them foresight, to help them overcome milestones and obstacles, to help them be more sure about the choices that they make, and to stand on them. This person knows that they kept you in a position where you were just constantly waiting to see what was going to happen, and getting unwanted results in return. This person knew that they were meant to expand this connection, and you were meant to expand them, but they fought it. And not only did they fight it, but I'm hearing they fought it hard, abruptly, and maybe even harshly. With this eight of Wands energy, with the Knight of Swords in reverse, this is someone that may have said a lot of things. And honestly, I don't even know if it's things that they didn't mean, but things that they just never learned how to communicate in a way that is not aggressive or harsh, right? Because you're coming at them with this receptive, feminine energy, but also this very caring energy where you're listening to them to truly hear them out and learn them. But this person, every time you try to raise a concern or talk to them about something, they could have completely just, like I said, listened for a rebuttal, without even actually hearing what you were trying to tell them, right? And keep in mind, roles can be reversed here, so maybe that's how you were. You will know for your specific situation here. But I think that the way that they are viewing you now is like there's nothing that they could do, or nothing that they could throw up, or nothing that they could sabotage over and over again that would surprise you, because you understand that this is this person's nature, and why their nature is like that. You know why, because you have taken the time to get to know them, to learn them, and to really hear them out. And I feel like this person just is not in the heart space truly to ever be able to do that, to ever be able to truly know and also honor the knowledge of knowing that relationships show you your own wounds and show you parts of yourself that maybe you don't even want to see, right? You really told this person, and I feel like in the most kindest, sweetest ways, about how they harm themselves and therefore harm the people around them inevitably. And I'm hearing they didn't hear it, because I think in their feelings, not only were they not ready for you, but they weren't ready and aren't ready to deal with what that means, right? To deal with the fact that they would now have to understand and truly accept that they have the best things in their life, and they sabotage it. They kill it. They bleed them dry. And then sometimes when they get overwhelmed by knowing that they have everything and feeling like they're not enough for it, they just leave. Or they fight you so hard to a point where you have to leave them. It's almost like this energy of this pile is like this person left before their full body did. You know what I mean? And you felt that, but it's almost like they pushed it to a point where maybe even you had to walk away. So it could have been like, you guys could be watching this like, why did this person disconnect from me? Or why did this person pull away from me? Or whatever. That's why. Okay. In their actions, they have coffee cup in reverse. And this is, you know how you have a cup of coffee, like a really great cup of coffee, and you're like, oh, I really want to savor that last sip, or hot chocolate, and there's that sweet chocolatey goodness at the end of the cup that you have to, like, you just know it's going to come at the end, and you save the best for last, right? Like you save that last sip for your last bite of your cupcake or your muffin in the morning or something like that, right? This person knew that you were something that they should savor, and it's like they tried, but it's like I said, it's the energy of someone that squishes something so hard, almost like that, so that they can keep it in their pocket, instead of recognizing that you can take the last sip and savor it and have so much gratitude towards it that this person comes back and fills your cup again. It's almost like this person was in their mind already expecting for you to only give them one cup of your love. But the truth is that you have so much love for them that it would never run out. But they're just not ready for a love like that, because they are stuck in a state of lack and or preservation. Yeah. I think that you are seeing this person as someone who has finally let you go, right? Maybe they held on to you so tight, or maybe they were borderline obsessed with you, or just constantly having this codependent energy here where you're giving, and they're not even open to receiving it, but always expecting it or wanting more. And it could have been very confusing for you. I think it still is. I think you're still as confused as you once were with this person, because maybe they are not connecting. Maybe they are not willing to meet up with you. Maybe they're not even talking to you right now, because they still have a block, honestly. I think you are seeing this person as someone who maybe is not being as demanding or having as many needs that they would never be able to meet for you. But the truth is that I think they are still in that energy. I really do. Your feelings are very unclear towards this person, because they, in their own actions, right, regardless of the connection you had, in their actions showed you something different. And they also showed you that they don't actually know how to stand in solidarity with you. They don't actually know how to have so much gratitude for a relationship that you would actually do anything to keep it, even if that meant having to put your heart on the line and put your guard down. This person does not know how to do that, because they have always had to be the opposite way. They don't know how to learn lessons from pain and then let them go. They only know how to keep them in their heart space at this current point, because they're still afraid that it's going to happen again. And I think in your actions, you may come back or try to come back into that person's life, or maybe even just in your actions right now, just be missing them quite a lot, wanting to not be missing them, though. Like, you don't want to be in separation from them. It's unclear, right? You'll know for your specific situation if you're going to try things again with them. But I see them again knowing your worth, but not really being able to honor it. Let's see here. I am going to look for you card number 3 and see what is it. Let's see. What is the possible future for card number 3 in their person, with this person? We get 3 cards. The first one we have is 4 of Pentacles in reverse. That's cool. This is all about giving back, having generosity towards another person. But it can also be indulgence, overindulgence, and greed. So similar to that addiction energy. You'll know for your person. Actually, we'll keep going. This also says insecurity and recklessness, right? So sometimes when we get reversals in tarot, it represents either having too much of an energy or not enough. So I'm going to keep shuffling here to see what that is, right? Because sometimes the 4 of Pentacles, like I said, is holding on to something really, really, really tight because you're afraid to lose it. But if it is just having less of that energy, then I think it could actually benefit this relationship quite a lot. So let's see, what else? Oh, 8 of Swords in reverse. I like this. This is someone that is learning how to free their mind, having some sort of new awareness, right? With that 3 of Wands energy that you give to them. Someone who is learning how to release and finally surrender, thank you, Spirit, to a relationship, recognizing that they're a survivor, but at some point a survivor can come back and just live a very full life where they don't have to be in survival mode. This person in the future, I feel like they could be very liberated and learn how to escape through you and face their fears with you, instead of running away from their fears and of not having reciprocated love. I'm hearing. What else? Oh, cool. We got the 8 of Pentacles. So there's an opportunity to work on this. There's an opportunity to learn, right? 8 of Pentacles is all about attention to detail. I feel like if this person never really took the time to hear you out or learn you in a way to show up for you the way that you have for them, there is an energy here in the future that could change. If you came back to them, I feel like this person is so guarded that maybe they're not going to be the one to initiate it, or if they have, maybe it was coming from like a negative place at first. But it's like you could come back and you'll decide what the best approach is here. But I'm seeing there is some sort of hope here for this person being just as dedicated to you as maybe you were to them, and also dedicated on working on themselves and getting to know themselves first. So maybe you feel like this separation in reverse or coming back together is something that could happen much later after this person, really does the work. But when that happens, I'm seeing that there is a lot of opportunity here for this person to show you sides of themselves that they never did, to show you things that they're actually good at, or they could be good at if they just accepted that they could be good at it. You know what I mean? I think this person would also uphold your standards, which seem to be pretty high and deservingly so. This person could come back and really put in the hard work here. But the only way that they'll do that is if they put in the hard work to change themselves. And I'm hearing Rome was not built in a day, right? With the Empress in reverse here, standing on top of everything, that represents delays here. So sometimes you separate from someone because at some point that separation brings them along to see what difficult decisions they were making and how they were constantly weighing their options and living in this state of doubt and inner conflict. Living in this state of avoidance and always withholding information, always never saying or speaking their truth, always having one foot in and out the door, always being in between feelings, thoughts, emotions. Yeah, there's an opportunity here to completely be able to avoid that sort of conflict in this relationship altogether if this person does the work to release all the tension in their heart and to cooperate and come to some sort of agreement that works for the both of you here. So with that being said, that is the end of your reading, and I want to thank you so much for making it this far. If you have card number 3, I'll be leaving some more timeless pick a card readings in the description box below. If you want to find some more information about the future of this connection, I have plenty that you can go and watch. And if this resonated, don't forget to like or comment and subscribe if you want to see some more in the future. For your Sun, Moon, Venus, and 7th house placements, I post monthly readings for those specific signs. So why don't you go check it out and get some more information in regards to this connection or any other one you are thinking about. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.